Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Michelle Bergs, and this is Your Personal Real Estate. Now, we are speaking with TJ Hilscher. He is the owner of HG Home Inspections. How are you doing, TJ?
Doing great. How are you doing today, Michelle?
Wonderful. Welcome back. TJ is one of our new show sponsors. Thank you for your support. We really appreciate you. And we are looking forward to learning more about your services. As a show sponsor, we are going to have an opportunity to really deep dive into all the services that you provide. And I love that we're starting with this. Now, today we're going to be talking about new construction. A lot of our conversations have been around resales and flipping and remodeling and renovating and interior decorating. And we haven't really touched on new home inspections. Most people do not think, why do I need a home inspection? But today we really want you to understand that it's really understanding why inspecting a home is vital to a transaction, even a new construction. So today, talking new construction, there are 3 phases to new home construction inspection.
Yes.
So TJ, start with phase 1 and that foundation.
You know, and you're right, Michelle. So many people think when it's a new home that they don't necessarily need to get it inspected. We hear people say, you know, it's got a builder's 1-year warranty and things like that. But I would say a new home is probably the most important home to inspect. Because the builder can miss things, or we can find things that the builder may have missed or something of that nature. So a phase 1 inspection is a pre-pour inspection, meaning before they pour the foundation even, we'll come out and we'll actually look and make sure that there's a proper vapor barrier on the foundation, that the post-tension cables or rebar, depending on the type of foundation, are laid in right. There's no trash in the trenches. I mean, you'd be amazed when you see a foundation being poured. Most people know what a form is, which is the wood that goes around the edges of the foundation. And when you watch a construction site, it never fails. You see the foreman or some of the workers walk over and stand on those forms to look down into the trenches in the foundation. That that weight, 200 pounds standing on that form, lowers it a little bit, and it can actually make your foundation slope. So we check the elevation of each corner of the foundation forms to make sure that there's still true flat foundation. And then of course a lot of times there'll be trash in the trenches, so we can get down in there and get the trash out of there, or get the builder to. So phase 1 is probably one of the most important. Most builders do have engineers on site that will sign off on their phase 1 inspection, but if they don't, we're more than happy to come out there and do it for you.
And TJ, you know, as a realtor in this market, and I've sold new construction, I've taken the certification for the class. It's amazing when, you know, I had to stop from chuckling, because you would not imagine the amount of trash that is out there, and people are not seeing that when they're, you know, they come in, they may see after the foundation is poured, the drywall is up. I mean, I am not kidding. There are sometimes you find some stuff and you see things, and it's just a empty bottle of water that they just didn't pick up, and they don't pick up. And new home construction, some of the new home, builders, they don't want your phase inspections. They don't want you to have your own inspector. So that's why it's really important for you to be an advocate, to have TJ, to have his company come out from the very beginning. And that is part of the conversation inside of the negotiations of the new contract. Is that a fair statement?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It really is.
The job sites, I've walked into a job site and there'd be a cold Modelo beer sitting in the lobby of the home, and you can't help but laugh because nobody will claim that bottle.
Of course not. Okay, so phase 2, what is phase 2? That's drywall, right?
That's pre-drywall and before the insulation actually goes in. So that's really an important part of it, because homes, you know, a lot of people think just the foundation settle on homes, but the frame settles as well. So if you go into a home that has a lot of undercut studs, undercut rafters, things like that, they have hanging brackets for the floor joists that are only anchored with a few nails. Then you get squeaky floors on the second floor or third floor or even fourth floor nowadays. nail plates. I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with those, but where plumbing and wiring goes through the walls, there's metal plates they put. So if you hang a picture, you're going to hit that metal plate instead of putting a nail through a piece of piping, which happens quite often. And you don't know the leak's there for months later, and it can cause mold issues and several other things. So I think, honestly, that is one of the most important ones, is to get out there and make sure that frame is nice and tight and done properly.
Exactly. And if this is your home, I always tell my clients this, bring a permanent marker and write something on the stud, sign your name, It's just a fun way, it's a fun touch to have that blessing, if you will, on the structure of your home, right?
Oh,
and the building of foundation.
I've had them come out and write scriptures, write messages. It's a lot of fun. The thing with the phase 2 is it is a working environment, so there sometimes can be a little dangerous for the clients to be there with you while you're working. We usually like them to come out towards the end if they absolutely have to be there for it, and that's just good business for us, so we're not having to worry about them walking off a landing while we're worried about ourselves walking off a landing.
That is true. Bring your hard hat, right?
Yes.
Bring your hard hat. Okay,
Absolutely.
phase three is your final inspection.
Absolutely. So that's where we're going to go through and do what we would do on a typical inspection on a new home or a previously owned home. On a new home, we're going to look a little closer because new builds, things just get overlooked as opposed to a home that's been lived in even for 6 months. Leaks under the sinks and the P-traps, areas around pipes that are under cabinets that haven't been sealed with caulking. People think those are little things, but they add up on efficiency on the home and on pest control. Pests like to follow pipes, so you can actually have termites get into places in the house that they wouldn't be able to get into if you had it caulked, or other insects that we don't want in our homes.
Exactly. TJ, you are a wealth of knowledge. I look forward to many more segments with you and really deep diving into the different inspections and different services that you provide.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you for having me, Michelle. I always enjoy visiting with you and educating people on the process of inspecting their home. Exactly. It's the biggest purchase we make as a family, and it's important to make sure we're making an informed decision. A lot of people ask us if it's a pass or fail. Not necessarily. It's just making sure they're knowledgeable about what they're buying.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to have your home inspected.
Yes, ma'am.
So again, thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
everyone, thank you. And we'll be right back after this commercial break.